Well, hi everybody, and welcome back to Impi, the friendly catamaran. So we are a couple sailing around the world on our Lagoon 440 catamaran, and for those who follow our travels, you will know that we have been waiting for that perfect weather window to depart New Zealand for New Caledonia. Well, that never happened, and that's a story for another day really.
Barometer's dropped again, one.
At last, after 5 tough days at sea, we arrive in what we refer to as paradise. In all our travels, we have only sailed back to 2 regions to explore their beauty in greater detail. First was the Tuamotu archipelago, and now as a second, right here in New Caledonia.
Yeah, absolutely spectacular. And you know, we did a movie of an island dog called Moose, which I called Cassie for a while because we came across this abandoned island dog on Cassie Island. And so we named him Cassie, but he's quite a popular dog among sailors, we believe, and a number of sailors go to see him now. And his name is Moose. Moose, the island dog living on Cassie Island. So, you know, a lot of people have written to us, they'd love to see Moose again. They'd love us to go and see Moose again. We'd love to see Moose again. He's a great dog. So here we are, you know, we're sailing to Cassie Island, and we look forward to sharing Moose, the island dog, with you guys. Cheers, man.
We've had a few friends tell us they could not enjoy sailing this region on account of poor weather. However, this place must love Impi because we have had many days and many experiences of swimming pool conditions here in the lagoon area. And of course, this entire lagoon area is a World Heritage Site, being listed with UNESCO. It truly is one of the natural wonders of the world.
So we're just sailing very gently here, very light winds, but Impi's just moving along.
No sooner had we cleared in at Namur than we headed out, first to anchor off the beautiful island of Maitre, where we sorted out some boat things following our passage from New Zealand, and then en route to Cassie Island, Anna took advantage of the pristine weather conditions to polish up the stainless steel and some other cleanup work on Impi. Impi's new mainsail, designed and built by Ullman Sails in South Africa, is proving to have amazing power in these lighter airs, and it performed well in the reefed positions during stronger winds on our ocean passage. Craig Middleton, thanks to you, buddy. It was these same pristine conditions we experienced in the southern lagoon area of New Caledonia last year that brought us back here for a second visit. From what we have experienced, it would seem that mid-July and later in the season is a great time to find oneself enjoying this beautiful reef-fringed lagoon. So arriving back to Cassie Island feels magical. We had just sailed in what feels to be a large swimming pool all the way from Noumea down to Cassie Island. A little overcast now, but our every sense pinned on trying to spot our survivor dog called Moose. This territory has the most amazing trees, and especially these tall pines, for which the area is best known. They seem to compete for height, reaching up towards the sun, and then as the boat approaches, a tree-lined beach basks in the sun to greet one. It's truly amazing. But the question beckons, where is Moose? And just as we become concerned, we spotted the lad walking down the dock to greet us.
Hey, Moosey!
Well, you can imagine how surprised we were when we called out his name and he promptly jumped into the ocean, swimming toward Impi. The mainsail was still up, we were still in the process of trying to secure the anchor lines, the engines were still going, and in between all this, I was trying to capture Moose on video for you all. It was crazy. Yeah, and well, the fear of Moose swimming too close for comfort with our engines going was soon to prove a concern too far. For this dog has not survived all these years for not being a clever lad. He instead turned and headed straight back for the beach.
It's just amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, swimming to the boat, huh?
I know, he's just scared of the engines. Oh man, should have taken the mainsail.
Yeah, you will have to excuse my shaking hands here. It is not easy to use a zoom lens on a moving boat whilst trying to secure lines and bring down the mainsail, but I'm sure you get the idea.
Hey, Moose!
Well, so Moose headed off to the dock to wait for us whilst we got Impi nicely tied down and settled in the anchorage. Well, our reunion made Anna so happy she wanted to do yoga on the dock. We wanted to spend as much time as possible with Moose. Yes, so Anna really enjoyed doing yoga in Moose's spot of paradise. He was clearly happy to be with us. However, he lacked that get up and go that we saw in him last year, and this concerned us a bit. Moose seems to have a blue film covering his eyes. He was limping from time to time. We became worried for the fella. But in spite of his ailments, he was determined to coax us into walking with him. He wanted to show me his fishing skills again. So off we went. Yeah, so walking the beaches of this island with Moose is spectacular, and especially as the sun begins to dip its head, the place bathes in a golden glow. It seems that this is the time Moose heads for a rocky outcrop where he will hunt for crabs, fish, sea cucumbers, and any other types of delights he can discover by pawing around the rocks. So Moose entered the water. He took on a new mode. He scratched around rocks. He turned some over and sniffed about. I really did not think much would come of it. But hey, suddenly there he was, tackling some sea cucumber or something. Now, what concerns us a bit about Moose and the sea cucumbers is that certain sea cucumbers will eject a toxic white mass which apparently can cause blindness to the eyes. I am not sure if these are those types of cucumbers. However, it does cross our minds, and we will take this up with the local vet. It seems to us that Moose does this on a regular basis. So how is it that only now, some 9 years later, he would begin to develop blindness? These are questions we need to ask of a vet. Some folks on our Facebook page who are more qualified at this say it is probably cataracts that are developing on his eyes. So day after day we would watch as Moose hunted for food. Here at the jetty, Moose will spend hours just walking up and down, looking for fish to dive out of the ocean. Last year we noticed how good his vision was. He could spot a fish a long way off. And yet this year, one sees him struggling to focus, and he has lost a lot of weight. Perhaps the salt water and the sunshine could be contributing to these cataracts. We just don't know, and the fella surely needs some expert assistance. So meet our American friend, Fred. We met Fred in Whangarei down in New Zealand, and here again in New Caledonia. What a small world this is. Fred actually worked at this resort when it was being built. Says a young couple with a child were doing the development, and he placed all the interior tiling.
I was there for 2 or 3 months, so as pretty as it is, and of course I was working now. We had 2 problems,
So Fred is an interesting guy. He has circumnavigated the world twice. He is sailing single-handed on his boat SV Serafina. He actually featured by chance in one of our earlier videos whilst launching Impi back into the water in New Zealand at Whangarei. Not sure if you recall this, Fred on the left.
Hey, very good, very good.
That's an interesting sight.
So Fred advises that he was not here too long, but that a young couple at the time had undertaken this task to build the resort. They were nice people, they had a little baby too, but obviously the resort was not successful and it was simply abandoned. And so, although Moose was not very well, he clearly was so excited by our visits that he briefly mustered up the energy to display his enthusiasm. But these were short-lived bursts of energy compared to last year. We considered putting him on Impi and taking him to Numia for treatment, but we were also confused. We just didn't know what the right thing was to do. Well, good fortune was ours the following morning, as one of the new Caledonian lagoon protection vessels was passing by. We were able to shout, whistle and wave to gain their attention, and it was a Sunday. The man kindly responded by coming alongside. Luckily for me, Anna speaks French, so I was able to converse with the folks sharing our concerns about Moose. We told them that we had started a funding campaign through Facebook for him, and that many really nice people had contributed toward the care and welfare of Moose. We asked if they could arrange a vet and advise us the cost. We were told they would bring a vet across the following day and give Moose the care he needs and deserves. We said we would like to see ongoing medical care for Moose, and that many people worldwide really care what happens to this dog. The officers were very grateful for this. They too really treasure Moose, saying he has a special status granting him permission to hunt in a reserve. Well, we suggested that we could take Moose back to Numio with us, but the authorities said that previously there had been 9 dogs on the island, all who were happily removed. However, every time anyone tries to remove Moose, he gets very upset and even aggressive. They say he determinedly does not want to be removed from this island.